This is a mysterious haunted house that appears out of nowhere every year in a different part of the world. Legend has it that the house has 6 rooms, but no one has ever made it out of the 6th room. 4 skeptical friends explore the haunted house, but the entrance is crowded with adventurers from everywhere. Curious at first, they soon discover in horror that the statues are of themselves. Curly suspects the props team 3D scanned them at the entrance. A person attempts to take a photo, but there's no signal. Everyone is fascinated by the statues except Bearded Guy, who stays calm. The lights go out and return 2 minutes later. The dim light shows that all the statues have changed, with black hands tearing open their heads, except for Shorthair's statue, which is intact. The door to the next room opens, and the statues seem to be giving them a warning. They can choose to leave the game now and nothing will happen, but curiosity wins over most of them. One girl quits. The second room is closed. Initially, they see nothing odd, but as the lights flicker, a masked figure appears in the corner. She examines them, stops by May, and whispers a secret before moving to a couple by the door. When the lights come back on, the woman's husband has vanished, leaving a long trail of blood on the floor. The woman is terrified and at a loss. She immediately decides to quit the game, thinking the two must be actors hired by the haunted house. The door to the third room opens, and Bearded Guy finally speaks, urging everyone to leave while they still can, implying there's no turning back in the next room. May's friend, Black Sister, asks what the masked person said to her. Mee discovers someone used a nickname known only to her late father. Eager to find out more, she steps into the third room, a revolving door for one person at a time. Each room is separate, forcing them to split up. May finds herself in a long corridor with a creepy man at the end, who scares her into fleeing into the fourth room. Inside, there's a large screen playing a video of her father's suicide. May is consumed by guilt, thinking she could have prevented it if she hadn't stayed out late that night. What puzzles her more is how the haunted house knows personal details. The fifth door opens, and with no exit visible, she hesitates before entering. To her surprise, the room is an exact replica of her home, with a statue resembling her father on the couch. The TV shows happy memories of her childhood with her father. She watches in disbelief as the statue comes to life and approaches her. The haunted house's terror isn't in its props, but in its ability to reach into the depths of one's heart. The statue embraces May, who is so frightened she declares she wants to quit. Hearing her plea, the statue releases her like a staff member would, but tells her she must complete all the rooms to go home. Mee doesn't care and pushes open the door, finding herself outside the haunted house where Black Sister has been waiting. Black Sister explains that after opening the fifth room, she found herself in darkness with a strange glowing ball in the center, but its purpose remains unknown. They wait in the car for their other 2 friends, but when they don't emerge by the next day, they each head home. When Black Sister arrives, she sees something eerie. The number 6. Is this town the 6th room? May ignores the number, but upon entering her house and going upstairs, she sees an astonishing sight. Her deceased father is there. Black Sister arrives at May's home, and the father immediately recognizes her. He makes May's favorite egg pancakes as usual. Black Sister remains calm and pulls May aside, believing the entire town is the 6th room and they're still trapped in the haunted house. The father must be a virtual person because Black Sister doesn't believe someone cremated could come back to life. She urges May to join her in finding a way out, but May refuses, wanting to understand why her father committed suicide, leaving her and her mother alone. From their conversation, it's revealed that after May's father's suicide, Black Sister wasn't there to comfort May when she needed it most. Black Sister feels guilty for not being there for May. Unable to persuade her, Black Sister leaves to find the others. That night, May's father takes her to the pool, reminiscing about teaching her to swim. But when May enters the pool, she finds it bottomless, like an abyss. After she falls asleep, her father enters her room and touches her forehead, causing memories of her mother to flood her mind. He's absorbing her memories, and as he does, black liquid emerges from the basement, from which May's mother appears. Her father goes to the basement and breaks her mother's arm, revealing not blood and flesh but pomegranate-like memory particles, which he greedily devours. Meanwhile, Curly and Handsome have just left the haunted house. When Curly returns home, he finds a woman and another version of himself there. Through their conversation, it's revealed that Curly too is his other side. In reality, Curly is timid and has never held a girl's hand, longing for a girlfriend. Here, Curly too is his reflection, as the 6th room amplifies negative emotions, feeding on diluted memories. But Curly too has bigger ambitions and kills Curly 1 with a beer bottle, intending to replace him in the real world, burning Curly 1's body. The statues in the first room were intact because he was killed before his memories were diluted. The scene shifts to Bearded Guy, who was calm in the first room because he had been to the haunted house before with his wife. After they were separated in the third room, he quickly found a way out in the sixth room, but his wife never emerged. This is his second time in the haunted house, and he soon finds his wife, but her clothes reveal something off. She tries to explain their past, but Bearded Guy realizes she's a fake, created by the sixth room based on his emotions. He shoots her, knowing that those trapped lose their memories. His wife, trapped for a year, likely had her memories devoured. He quickly finds his home, but his wife has forgotten him completely. Her memories consumed by the sixth room. This proves she's the real one. Meanwhile, May discovers something strange, a model of her mother's face in the trash, while her memories of her mother fade. She realizes the man isn't her father and wants to leave, but he stops her. Desperate, she excuses herself to go upstairs to calm down, hoping to escape through a sealed window. Outside, her father becomes agitated. May quickly opens a wardrobe to hide, only to find herself at the pool, a glitch in this imagined world. Climbing out, May runs for her life with the fake father in pursuit. Meanwhile, Curly too finds Black Sister and Handsome. They don't realize Curly is fake. After discussing, they decide to find May and leave together. On the way to May's house, they find her fleeing. Black Sister rescues her, and May tells her about the lost memories. Black Sister isn't surprised, as the white ball is her virtual object. After her mother's death, Black Sister feared loss and wasn't there for May. Discovering the ball could devour memories, she offered it her painful past. Seeing Black Sister asleep, May plans to go out, but finds the edge of the virtual world. With Handsome, they search for an exit, growing closer. They reach the town's highest point, seeing an energy field with a gap resembling an exit. Bearded Guy joins them, confirming it's the exit. They plan to leave at dawn. May can't sleep and visits Handsome, and they become a couple. The next day, Curly 2's skin rots, seen by Handsome, who doesn't reveal his identity, showing he's not trustworthy. In the sixth room, only he hasn't appeared. Bearded Guy plans to leave with his wife's real self, but on the way, they see something strange. A family in a cage. They can't worry about it now and focus on finding the exit. On the way, they notice the residents are odd, with children feeding on their mother's memories. They walk through a field until nightfall, reaching the virtual world's edge. Beyond the cornfield lies the real world. Curly 2 is eager to enter, but the field is full of virtual people. They only consume their original's memories, so for safety, they wait until morning. Black Sister hears something and heads to the town. Bearded Guy knows it's the virtual people's doing and leaves his wife with Curly 2, rushing to stop Black Sister. As he leaves, a virtual person charges from the cornfield, devouring Bearded Guy's wife's memories. But since she's not his original, even after destroying her head, he can't extract any memories. Bearded Guy returns, devastated, and sees Curly 2's rotting arm, realizing he's not human. To test his theory, Bearded Guy stabs him, confirming Curly 2 is virtual, as they feel no pain. With Curly 1 dead, his arm rots. Bearded Guy vents his anger on Curly 2, then they set off, all watched by May's fake father. As they cross the cornfield, May's father blocks their path, desperate for more of May's memories, begging her not to leave. As he reaches for her, he suddenly stops, perhaps a flicker of paternal love halting him. In May's memories, her father loved her dearly, so the virtual father inherits this love. He urges May and the others to leave. They reach the cornfield's end, finding the hidden haunted house. But only 3 emerge. Handsome is missing. As they near the real world, Bearded Guy stops, deciding to stay and destroy the place, heartbroken over his wife's loss. With his previous experience, they quickly reach the third room, choosing to enter together. Soon, they reach the 5th room, where May's father is. With her friend's persuasion, she lets go of her obsession. Opening the door, they finally return to the real world. The story should end here, but May's virtual father follows them out, taking a memory of a puppy from her. After they leave, Bearded Guy plans to burn the place but encounters May's virtual father. They fight, and Bearded Guy is killed. Handsome and Black Sister arrive at May's house, finding the virtual father feeding. They knock him out, waking May. The virtual father wants to live with May, claiming he can control his hunger if she feeds him memories. May refuses and locks him in the basement. How to deal with him becomes their dilemma. Black Sister suggests killing him, urging May to face reality, but May hesitates, as her mother called that morning. revealing her father's death's truth. He went bankrupt, leaving debts and losing their home and May's tuition. To avoid burdening them, he faked an allergic reaction to claim insurance, helping them through tough times. Though not real, May can't bring herself to kill him. Handsome suggests sending him back to the haunted house before it disappears. Reluctantly, he agrees. Handsome escorts them to the haunted house, but when Black Sister arrives, it's gone, not to return for a year. The scene shifts to May, trapped for a year, adapting like Bearded Guy's wife. Her father only dilutes insignificant memories. Before each dilution, May notes what she'll forget in a notebook. Handsome is with her. One day, they notice the town's new look, meaning the haunted house has reappeared somewhere in the real world. Meanwhile, Black Sister hasn't stopped searching. She finds clues to the haunted house's location, where challengers gather. To save May, she enters without hesitation. In the 6th room, she quickly finds Handsome. Passing the eerie cage, they learn Handsome is an orphan, longing for a family. Adopted, his childhood was unhappy. The cage holds his adoptive family, virtual people unable to feed on his memories, posing no threat. He grows fond of the place, where he won't age or face outside pressures, getting anything he wants. Seeing Handsome's obsession, Black Sister decides to take May and burn the place. Handsome disagrees, punching Black Sister and locking her in a small room. She sees the white ball, her fear, starving for memories. But after her talk with May, she's let go of her obsession, defeating the ball. She finds May, but May seems unwilling to leave. To show Handsome's true nature, Black Sister takes her to the cage. In a house, a vacant-eyed woman paints, muttering about Handsome's return. Handsome has lived here, bringing people to feed the haunted house with their memories. The woman is his ex-girlfriend. Black Sister returns to May's place, knowing to make her leave. They must eliminate May's virtual father. He doesn't resist, knowing his love is real and May will become emotionless if he continues. Realizing the virtual father isn't heartless, Black Sister hesitates. Meanwhile, Handsome finds May by the cage. 6 memory-drained women emerge, all his ex-girlfriends. Handsome tries to explain, but May, heartbroken, opens the cage. Black Sister stabs Handsome while May's virtual father restrains him. Handsome's starving family appears and consumes his memories. As black liquid spreads, Handsome turns into a memoryless shell. The virtual father, terrified, realizes he's a threat to May despite controlling his hunger. He doesn't want her to become a shell, so he ties a rope to his foot, hoping May will end his life, knowing he'll eventually drain her memories. Though fake, the father's love feels real to May, making it hard to act. To help May let go, he steps forward. The rope on his foot might be because he knows, as a virtual being, he won't die. But the rope will pull him into an abyss, eliminating the threat to May.